Man, what a day, huh? I mean, I stayed up late. I watched the results. Pleasantly, and I won't even say surprised. I mean, I think this is actually the third win myself. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We've got a businessman back in the office, a man that understands cutting taxes and tariffing. It helps the country. And we can talk about that. You know, I've had companies, I've imported a lot of stuff over from China. They don't tax the stuff coming this way, but they sure punish the shit out of you if you're bringing something from America, even if you take it to Germany or in different places. I mean, they just tax it so hard. It's terrible. But that's really what I want to talk about is how great this is for real estate investors. You know, look, Trump's a real estate man, and he understands, you know, he understands how growth comes about. He understands trickle down. And a lot of people don't. Unfortunately, people that don't make money don't understand trickle down. But not everybody. You know, it's not like you can't understand that if you don't have money. And in fact, one of my maids, for lack of a better description, was cleaning my place today, and she said, "Oh, so glad." You know, she said, "I'm glad. I know you'll have more work," and she's right. She's right. I will have more work, and everybody will. So it's really really great. To like I say, have somebody that understands business. You know, if you're not in business, I tell you, the number one thing for a business, you got to have certainty, right? You need to understand where you stand. You know, you don't like them dangling. You know, they have provisions like, I think it's 179. It lets you have a fast write-off on business that you want to, you know, on equipment and that sort of thing. And that they kind of dangle that over your head sometimes, and you can't count on it. And if you can't count on it, then you can't simply plan to buy anything. And so it, you know, but with you know, with the confidence that comes back for the people, business people, and you can see what the market, the stock market, I guess, bounced back incredibly well today. It showed a lot of confidence. I don't think that would have happened with any other kind of you know, without any other kind of result. I don't think that would have happened. I just don't think that would have happened. But what do you guys think that are watching? I'm super happy. You know, I was so elated. I got two boys that are 21 years old. Those are my youngest. And my daughters were just getting out of college about 4 years ago, too. And so it was kind of perfect timing. My girls are getting out of college. I thought, great, roaring economy. Everything's going to be great, you know. And then my boys, I thought, perfect. I thought even if Trump didn't win, and I think he did win, but even if he didn't win, I thought that it would take a long time to screw up all the good stuff that he did, but it really didn't take them long at all. You know, the border's out of control. You know, own a lot of property. You know, you see these properties behind me. I'll just show you some of the issues I've had to deal with. This is a freeway, right? Freeway is always good property. Well, I have properties along the freeway. In this particular property right here, this thing here was, man, I was just haunted by bullshit. You know, I probably had, I'm not kidding, 70 people living under this bridge, 70. And they would, every night, I would find them on my cameras. They'd walk over here, and I have cameras all over this building, and I see them checking the car doors. If there happened to be a car there, checking the doors on the office all the way around, you know, taking a dump behind the dumpster back here, and just making the place a pig pen. You know, people coming. I made sure they could get water. He left a valve so that they could come and get water as needed, just because I didn't want to. I didn't want them breaking in for water. You know, it was just easy. Best thing. What'd you write here? Charles Saloom said, best thing that could have happened for us as Americans trying to get. I agree. So you know, I actually was creating an app that was. Really, it was so that you could give feedback on your government, and you could, you know, whether it was city council, everything. I spent quite a bit of money developing an app, and what I found is the whole country is so apathetic, it was a waste of time. I wasted a lot of money playing with that. But around that same time, I went and, where's that picture? That picture's in here of me and Trump, son? Where do I find that at? Oh, okay. Maybe show me how to get to it, son, if you come around this way. Anyways, so I've met President Trump. And let me tell you, when you're talking to him face to face, and it was a very small setting, and not a lot of people, and I got to meet him, talk to him, and in that image that you see on the thumbnail, pretty much, I'll slide that over here, I guess. How do I slide that over?
Yeah, you
I can do that?
or you wouldn't be able to.
I'd have to take this whole thing over. Okay.
You'd have to export it and then open it. Somewhere.
Here, share. Let me do share. Well, you can see it. I think I can drag this whole thing over. Right? Yeah. So, and I got such a shitty photo. I wish I had a better photo. But that's me, cleaned up. Man, I'm just telling you, when you're talking to President Trump, I mean, you immediately realize this guy's listening to everything you're saying. He's just looking dead you in the eye, and he's taking it in. And when he answers, he's very concise. He asks you questions back. And I remember the last thing that I said to him. It was just because he just made the statement about talking to black people. He said, "Hey, listen." He goes, man. He goes, vote for me. He goes, "What the hell do you have to lose?" And he was trying to contact. And not long after this, but what I said to him, I said, "Man, I think that resonates so good." I said, "You got to keep pounding that message, And he's, "Oh, don't worry." He goes, "I'm going to be pounding it." And he didn't really do it as much as I hoped he would. And in fact, he basically was going to go to, I think it was Washington, maybe it was Baltimore, and he got shut out. They couldn't. There was just so much, of a ruckus that it was impossible. For him to talk to anybody, and he was basically being isolated. That you don't really want you don't want your enemies getting close to, and I'm talking about the opposing parties. Did not want him to, make a connection with the black folks. But boy, did that happen this time, man, in a big, big way. Trump really, really connected with young black men. And, a lot of people, were very bitter with Obama, said bitter, he promised a lot of things, if you're a Mexican person, he promised a lot of stuff to the Dreamers that he didn't come through on. And if you were if you're a black person, he really didn't do squat. I mean, I hear that from a lot of people, black and white. So I thought that it was very, very cool. I thought it was very cool. Just this guy's worked so hard, and I don't know. Like I said, I've been a VIP donor for some time, and it's because I do believe in him. And it's not even personal stuff. It's more about just what's doing right for the country. I want my kids. My kids are adults, right? And I got a lot of people in my class. Which, by the way, if you just got here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm a real estate mentor. I've been an investor for 43 years. I've been making money since I was 19 years old. Even though I didn't come from a privileged class, I've been very privileged my whole life. I've made money my whole life. I've never gone bankrupt. I've done nothing but excel, and it's been fantastic. Let's see. Let's read some of these comments. Let's see. Hey, Rob Armstrong. See in here. Liam, America made to right choice last night. I agree. Anderson Lynn, hey, Tom, we won. My liberal friends hate me. Ha ha. Broliosis. What's up, Tom? Go MAGA. Shanice Baldwin, he ain't for black people. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He 100% is. Yeah, but America is over as we knew it. Yeah, I'm not so grim on it. Listen, I was very, very surprised. I thought the country was going down the tubes when Trump came in last time. But, he immediately took actions to bring about, to spur business. And I'm telling you, the only way you bring about business is lower taxes. You got to lower taxes, and that's what he's doing. And somebody made a comment about the tariffs. Tariffs are very good, believe me. If you've ever exported and imported, and I've done millions and millions of dollars both ways, and I can tell you right now, everything we send over there, they tax the shit out of it, where I don't care what country it goes to. It gets taxed heavily, but coming back this way, I mean, we even have discounted postage for these guys, sending stuff over from Japan and China this way. That's why you can order a tripod or something on eBay or otherwise, and they just send it to you postal. And they can do it, and it's cheap. They got some racket going, one of our representatives passed a sweet deal for their lobbyists that bribed them, and then they, put stuff in front of us that we got to deal with and pay for. But, the other thing, think about this. Trump's putting Elon Musk, he's going to task him as being basically a waste czar. And anybody that knows anything about government, that there is just tremendous waste. I mean, tremendous waste. My channel's called Flip Anything, right? Well, I used to go to government auctions. And believe me, I would buy, tens of thousands of dollars of video equipment for like hundreds of dollars and turn around and resell the stuff for thousands of dollars. And by the way, that's also, anybody out there, let me just say something. Go to the government auctions, and it's just like a fishing expedition digging through the stuff. But you'll find all kinds of stuff that's very valuable, that's unused, that you can resell for more. And it is a really good thing. Okay, let's see. Keep going here. LOL at Trump's tariffs. I don't know, GH, whatever. Anyways, Shanice wrote, you keep saying if you are a black person, that doesn't make sense. If he didn't do anything, why was he a president for 8 years? He cares about billionaires, not the middle class. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Obama, I agree with you. You tell me what he did for the black folks. You tell me, because I hear nothing but complaints. Baltimore, I think they were going to build a garden or something. They got more killings there in a week than most cities do have in a year. It was absolute disaster. I mean, most people feel that voted for Obama feel terribly let down, and many of them did change. But look, I don't even care about the past now. I'm just looking forward to the future. And I can tell you that, just what I've seen Trump do in the 4 years that he did, he brought the economy back when I thought it was going down last time, incentivizing, like I say, lower taxes, lower capital gains. Hopefully, you had somebody here. His opponent wanted to create jobs, government jobs. Well, government jobs don't create income. They just create a bigger tax burden for all of us to pay. And shoving all this green stuff down our throats, that's been an absolute nightmare. But it puts money in some people's pockets, but in general, it hurts everybody else. And gas, just the common sense stuff. That's what I really like. Very, very common sense stuff. Yeah, even if you want to transfer everything over into, electric vehicles or whatever, why wouldn't you use the gas and the oil, the petroleum that's under your own feet? This idea that we're importing oil into our country and then at the same time being dissuaded from even building products that utilize, even in California, they don't even want you can't even put a gas stove in your house now. And just all this stupid stuff. But it's like, why would you import oil and gas from other countries when you're sitting on it? And the plan is to rule it out anyways, right? That was the plan, to make everything green and get rid of all this stuff. And but obviously it's always for the wrong things. You just got to think sinister. I can tell you right now, think sinister. I talk about I'm a real estate investor, right? And sometimes you'll get people like bigger companies, like I'll just go out here and show you something. This one always comes to mind. I like to share this with the class in general. Where is it? Here it is. So this is an area that was booming, and I bought this property back in 1995. Right, this is 50 acres above my head here. It encompasses this tract right here, shaped like this. All the way down to there, back to the street, like that, and that, something like that. Anyways, 50 acres. Hey, all right, see you, son. And so you can see it's built out with homes. Well, this is an old trailer park, actually, that went defunct. But when I bought this, I'm kind of losing my train of thought now. Where was I going with this? Oh gosh, and what was I talking about? Jersey work for Kamala makes me makes me want to puke. Appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. So, Sinister. I was talking about Sinister, right? So a lot of times you don't realize how sinister people can be, and I mean, and politics is the worst. They're the most. Listen. In general, politicians are not really in general. They're not the best or brightest or the most ethical, unfortunately. But they try to have that persona, but obviously the colors show through, and you've been able to see a lot of that of late. But what I was going to say is, like when this property was vacant, and I had, there's all these tracts of homes were being built by different builders, a lot of names that you would know, big names, and they approached me and they wanted to buy my property, and I'm like, hey, that's what I do is make money on land. And, and they're offering really healthy amounts of money for the property, but they didn't really want to commit any real cash. And I figured out what they were doing, and they didn't get me, but they did get other people, is they simply tied up the tract of land so their competitor couldn't buy it. They really weren't sincere in buying the property from me or from anybody else. They just wanted to get in a contract, tie it up, and then while it's tied up, they would extend it as long as they possibly could. Meanwhile, they're building out their homes all around you, and they're keeping their competition from buying your property. And then, by the time things get in, maybe they're not even interested in the property because, mission accomplished, just taking yours off the market. So you just got to keep that in mind. Hey, if anybody wants to call in, we are live, and we can take a call. There's the phone number, 424-866-7929. And we can chat a bit. But like I say, the certainty and the confidence that comes back with people understand that you don't want to create government jobs. You got to remember, every government job created usually it creates an added burden to the people that they govern because they hire people to govern the people. And then this is what gets you, just too much, you got people, it's just everything from, registering your car to having a safety check on your car to, licensing your dog and your cat, just having to get permission to cut hair. I mean, to me, these are things are a joke. There's plenty of things people can do that they don't need to have a license for. They can be completely competent at, and I consider cutting hair as one of them. Russ wrote, I heard rates should drop tomorrow. Yeah, I have no idea, Russ. I don't have any strong opinions about that. I think that we still are in a mess. I don't think rates should drop because they did not accomplish what they wanted to in curbing inflation. And so I hope they don't lower the rates, to be quite honest. But what I think has to happen, the correction that we all need to see, and look, I've been doing this for 43 years, been a real estate investor. A lot of people look at charts and graphs. I don't need to. I've lived it. I've lived it for 43 years as a real estate investor. So I know what high interest rates do. That brings about opportunity. It also makes things more expensive and harder to buy. Thanks, son. And believe me, nobody's more concerned about it than I am, just because I have a lot of young adults, coming out of my family, going out on their own. So Kevin wrote, so you own that tract of land, and the other big company owns all around you. No, I sold it. That's why it's built out now. Ultimately, no. You test sincerity with the wallet. No, I was out to sell it, and I paid $205,000 for that property. I sold it for $2,850,000, and of course I rolled that into other investments that have made many, many millions since. So my interest was in just getting rid of the property and selling it. But what I found was a lot of disingenuous buyers that they talked a great story. Oh yeah, look, we did this and we did this, but no money. Test sincerity with the wallet. If they don't want to part with money and it's just hot air, it doesn't matter how rich they are. It just means, you got to have a contract that says money, And so that's what I did. Is I just kept telling the bullshit to walk until somebody came in the door that sincerely wanted to close the deal and make the deal, and we made the deal. And I got my cash, and I bought a few more buildings, and now that $200,000. I mean, that $200,000. I got to think about that. So figure I spent $205,000 on that property back in 1995, and I probably make almost $100 grand a month now from that one investment. A little less than that, but probably rough gross rents. Probably $100 grand directly related to that piece of property and the money made. And that's how fast your life can change. People wonder why I'm so passionate about real estate. And believe me, I talk to men, men primarily and women. But listen, if you're 30, 40, 50 years old and you don't own a piece of real estate, or you're not, you're not learning about how to invest in real estate, I'm telling you, you're making a very, very big mistake. And, and I say it with, and I can say it with confidence because you can see all these properties I own right here. These are all properties that I bought, and there's lots of properties here. There's 22 just in one little tract right here. But these are all the kinds of properties that ultimately, these things can take care of you for the rest of your life. You can flip houses like I've done, like these ones you see behind my head. I bought 4 houses in the last 6 months. I've sold 2 in the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks. I bought land. I've got big buildings. That's land there, as I just showed you. And I don't own that anymore. The money's been made, but that was just turned into a different asset. I've sold houses, and I sold 3 houses that I made about $1.5 million on, and I bought this building for $1.8 million, and and these things bring in a lot of money, and that's what you can do. It's just nice to wake up in the morning or when you go to bed, or actually one of my favorite times is actually when I'm sick, when I feel my worst. I just kind of chuckle and laugh and go, you know what? I'll have more money at the end of this week because I'm too sick to get out to move around and spend it. But it does put a smile on my face, the fact that I don't have to get up, because believe me, and I know many of you can relate. You get up, you don't feel like going to work, you feel like shit, but you get up and you go to work anyways. I had a lot of employees. I've been self-employed forever, so I have to work. Doesn't matter how bad I feel, I have to work when I had a lot of employees. Now I don't have a lot of employees. I just own a lot of real estate, and I have people that manage it, and it's just much easier. Real estate, rents never sleep, right? A lot of people hate the end of the month. I remember not liking the end of the month when I had a mortgage. Now I love it because I am the mortgage. I am the one collecting the rents, and I'm the one collecting the money on the notes. When Trump left office in 2020, inflation was 1.4%, and interest rates were 2.8. Yeah, that sounds about right, bud. That sounds about right. And like I say, it's just such a shame, that this COVID hoax was a big mess, and and it's just the credit. And here's the other thing you're going to see, by the way, for those of you that are interested in whether it's flying saucers or who killed JFK. Trump said he's going to release all that stuff, and he keeps repeating, promises made, promises kept, and you know what? He kept his word on everything he said he was going to do or try to do. Democrats say, oh, he didn't build a wall like he said he was going to. He built hundreds of miles of wall, and he had no support. He didn't have support from his own party. You got to remember, there's a lot of rhinos out there. There's a lot of people that pretend to be something they're not. And, even the Republican Party, there's so many of those guys that didn't support him and help him and take care of him and stick together with him. But here, against all odds, here he is. Now he's number 47. And so I would just be very, very optimistic if I were you. And, now you can actually start opening up the door. If you're in Nitin, hey, good to see you here, Nitin. Just saw the news. The View. Oh, The View. You're watching The View. Oh, shit. That's hilarious. Yeah, this job is killing me. I understand. So listen, I just want to give you young guys and gals, just understand that there's light at the end of the tunnel. None of this stuff, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens a lot quicker than you think. And if you have a mentor, and that's what I am, and so listen, and I won't bore you guys with this too long for those of you that watch me all the time, but you get mentoring, and it makes a world of difference. Believe me, there's millionaires in the crowd that are watching right now that have been in my class, and just go to webinar. You can get rid of this real quick. Yeah, right up here at the top, right? Webinar or apply for mentorship. Go to the success page even. You go to the success page, and you can just fill out this little form right here, and then I'll have you on my mailing list, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to me direct. But look at all these guys. These are true success stories. You know, there's millions of dollars of profit here. Some of these guys have made more than $2 million. And I've only been mentoring people for 3.5 years. And there's people that have been doing this for 20 years on YouTube that can't touch even one of my testimonials. They're nobody. I mean, it's that great. Russ wrote, what do you think real estate will do under Trump? The economy should get better. Will real estate go up? Rates should be coming down. Yeah, so, Russ, what I know is this. You know, people irresponsibly, I think, take jabs and guess at what the country's going to do. I know that it'll get better. It'll get better under his management than anybody else, only because he's going to spur growth and job growth. So people are going to work. I mean, wages have to go up. Inflation has killed us so badly. Wages have to go up. So I think what the recovery is, the wages will catch up, and as the wages go up, and maybe the interest rates will come down a little bit. Maybe they won't come down. Listen, I've started in much higher rates than this. So, 7, 8, 9, 10% interest. This is my little book here. This is my first $1 million made. It's in this book. There's notes. There's, I bought houses and land and buildings, and I made my first million between 1981 and like 1988 or 1889. But that's all through the 80s. And every interest rate in there, the cheapest rate interest rate I had in that whole bunch was 9.25%. Everything else was 10% interest, 9% interest, 9.25 on the cheap. And so, yeah, the president doesn't have the power to lower interest rates, but if he can put people to work, and he is, he's proven himself to be a guy that cares about jobs in this country. And so if you got a bunch of new people coming into the country that are taking certain jobs, we got to get rid of a lot of the criminals. I think he's going to do that. That'll be good for all of us property owners. And, listen, I've had a backhoe stolen off my property last year. I had $105,000 in fraudulent fake checks written out of my bank account. I've had about $40,000 worth of copper cut off my roof. They turned the power off in one of my big buildings and chopped up the conduit and pulled the copper out of it. They got $10,000 worth of copper, did $40,000 worth of damage. All that shit is hard to take. You got to win more than you lose, and I do. But nevertheless, I mean, boy, does it make my blood boil when somebody steals something from me? And then the cops get no support, so they can't run around and they don't run around the property as much and have a presence that kind of scares people away. So then things continue to get worse. So I think all that. I think just having more support of the police, I think is going to be fantastic. I think the confidence that it brings to real estate investors. If they get if they try to start doing that rioting bullshit, all that Antifa crap that was going on while Trump was in, those clowns I don't think are ever going to get away with the stuff that they got away with previously. And you got to understand, Trump knows his power now. He's been in there 4 years, and he got all jacked around. He was misled, and he had a lot of stuff because he was new. Well, he got a hard lesson, but he's a quick study, and he knows his power, right? He knows his power now, and you're not going to see him make some of the mistakes that he made before. Primarily trusting people that were Republicans that were supposedly there to help. So very, very excited about it, and I think we're going to make a lot of money. Everybody in the class, I'm super excited. Those of you that are sitting on the fence, I'm telling you, get in the class, join these people that you see behind me here. There's not a brighter group of real estate investors than my class. I promise you that. And I'm just happy for you to compare. Okay. So yeah, I'm really excited though. And Russ, I'm really excited for you. Russ is, a young man, 4 kids, 30 years old, already a multimillionaire. He was interested in, he already did really well on his own with real estate, with housing and some land. And he got in. He wanted to get into the commercial real estate, and he did. And man, he just knocked it out of the park. And like several students have, and that's what you can do. You can do it. You can really. It's all out there. My dad used to always say, "Son, you got the world by the ass. You can do anything." And I believed him, And he was right. He was right. It's been a wonderful thing. Elena wrote, God bless our new president and help real estate investors to rebuild this country. Yeah, absolutely. You just think about all the jobs that got wiped up. As soon as Biden came in, he opened the borders, he cut the, the pipeline, and just killed jobs left and right. And now, it was just kind of spiteful, it seemed. And we're going to see things come back. It's just going to be all common sense. And believe me, that's really what we need is common sense. And so very, 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 very happy with it. And hopefully, YouTube doesn't censor this video too much. They've been pretty harsh on me. That's why people tell me all the time my channel should be much bigger. But some people get a warning on my channel because, whatever, I talk straight about politics. That's never going to change. But so anyways, yeah, please like and comment, and we'll do more. You guys, if you haven't seen the video, I got a video out there on Pace Morby. I got a video coming on Tyler Cobble. I've got a video on Ben Mulla, and I got a video on Brandon Turner. I just put out recently, and I beg for comparison. I look for comparison, and you should be comparing. If you're looking for help or somebody that has the chops with real estate and experience, you want to find somebody that really can prove it up. So, anyways, if anybody wants to call in, better call in right now. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. Hey, Keith, good to see you in here, buddy. And yep. And hey, Kevin, good to see you. Yeah, and and a lot of people, I got a lot of students come in. A lot of people have money. A lot of people that get in my class have money. Not all, by any close, but and some of them want to invest, right? And I don't solicit money for investment, but I actually might start investing with my students because my students have been doing so well, and that's what's really cool and very rewarding for me. Is when a lot of times the students they don't have the confidence yet, but they come back and say, hey, what about this? Hey, I got this, and then they're pleasantly surprised to find out they're doing everything right. But they just need to hear it. Nah, you did it. That's right. That's perfect. I might say one little tweak, but really it's like, man, you got it. You did it right. You got it signed. Let's get this thing closed and make your money. And sometimes that's what you just need to know is that somebody looks at what you got and they say, okay, you're good, because you don't know that you're good because you haven't done it long enough, and I understand that. And so, like I say, I fully expect guys like Russ and others in the class, they're going to be richer than I am because they're getting wealthier faster than I did. And it's primarily mentorship. It's just being able to absorb and utilize what somebody else knows, and that's what I'm happy to do for my students. And it's just super rewarding seeing the ones that are bright enough to make it happen. So, anyways, I'll call it quits, guys. But we'll try to do some more lives here. And like I say, whenever you guys comment under the videos, it's helpful. You can say watch to the end, that sort of thing. It always is. It's helpful to the videos. Not that I live and breathe about having subscribers, but I would like more people to see it sometimes. But so anyways, here I'll leave you with my fake guru rap, and we'll see you guys soon. Well, I thought I was leaving you with my fake guru rap. What happened? Guess that's not happening. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you don't have my book, you definitely want to get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Let me see if I can show you this since my thing is screwing up. Give me the book. Here's the book. There's a book photo. Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. Take a look at the reviews on it. Everybody tell you there's no fluff. I'm incapable of talking about fluff. I just can't do it. It's always straight to the point, get to the meat of it. And that's how business people operate. And flim-flam, man, bullshitters, they talk around the subject because they can't do this. Let me tell you what they can't do. They can't go look at this. They can't say, I bought this, I bought that, I bought this, I bought that. Every one of these deals you see in here, and a lot more that you don't see, every one of these things I personally negotiated, owned, profited on. Some are hundreds of thousands, some are millions of dollars. And that's what I want for you, those of you watching. And that's what you can achieve 100% for sure. You just have to make it happen. So anyways, thanks again, and we will leave you with, if I can get this video going again. Here it is.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all of the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.